Okay guys, this is page 5 of our packet. So it is real world objects and perspective. So we're going to be doing our horizon line up at the top portion of the page and putting our vanishing point towards the center. And we're going to try the best we can to kind of match these shapes, like this book right here. We're going to start off with a real skinny rectangle. We'll practice with a skinny rectangle and these shapes. We're just going to do the best we can. I want you guys to, if you're not printing this out, to have some good practice with, you know, how to follow the vanishing point and, you know, draw real world objects. You might want to put some of these in your room or a part of your project, so this will be good practice, okay? So what you're going to start with is a piece of paper and a pencil. And I'm going to put this off to the side. All right, so first things first, I'm going to use my old note card to put in our horizon line. Very faint. Remember, you know, you don't want your horizon line to be super dark. Sometimes when we're doing different designs, we have to erase parts of it. So I'm going to put my vanishing point right in the middle, and we're going to start with the book, okay? And I'm going to try and match the paper that you can look at on a separate window. So whenever we're drawing these shapes, just remember if they're new shapes, you can mark them on your card or, you know, use a shape tool if you like. Okay, so this is just kind of imitating the book shape. Now I don't have the book already drawn like in the handout, but and this is an example piece, but I think it'd be good practice. We're gonna go ahead and put in the sides, okay? So remember that we do our receding or orthogonal lines to the vanishing point from the corners. Always double check, make sure that they're correct. Okay, so just remember that this back horizontal line is parallel to the front. And then this vertical line is parallel to this front. Let's double check that. Line it up, slide it over. It looks like it's slightly off. Let's correct that. Oop, I do not like that. Okay, so there is the back of our book. Any leftover lines, just go ahead and take those off. So if you are drawing a book, then you can put in the page lines. Now again, these should go to the vanishing point. You can see that first one that I did, since I did not use the vanishing point, it's a little bit off, so it's really important to do that. The front pages of the book can be parallel to these lines. And these details are not entirely necessary for this example, so I'm going to move on to the table, okay? So as long as you know that this represents a book, and you can reproduce this to create different objects that look like a book if needed. Okay, so the table and our handout is right in the center. So what I'm gonna do is start with these two parallels. You can see the difference between freehanding and using a tool. Get your legs to line up. Okay, so there's the front of my table, and now we're going to complete that by lining up this corner to the vanishing point. Oopsie, got a little slippery with my lines. Let's try that again. It's okay to make mistakes, we just have to correct them. Okay, so the back of the table will be parallel to the front. Okay, so there's our table using perspective. Now, we'll just assume that these back legs do not show. Let's go ahead and move on to the chair. So the chair, so right about here. Okay, so this is what the worksheet has for the chair. So let's go ahead and put on our receding lines, and it looks like I need a little bit longer straight edge for this, so I'm just going to use the back of our assignment paper. I have a ruler, that's great. Okay, so there's a couple things that we need to do here to finish this. I would like to do the front side of the leg as well. Okay, so I have my receding lines. I'm probably gonna put one more on this leg as well, but let's go ahead. Actually, there's one more that goes, and this is blocking my light. One more that goes from the top here, the width of this back of the chair. Gotta have that. Okay, so I'm going to determine right here. This is a vertical opposite side, and then we have to cap this off with a parallel line to this front one. So let's go ahead and line this up and slide it to the corner. Okay, if you have a leftover line, just erase it. So it's starting to look like a chair. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this back line. Needs to be parallel to the front here. Looks like that other line is not quite long enough. Oops. So let's go ahead and just extend that. Okay, so this chair could, you know, just have a skinny leg or go all the way across depending, but let's go ahead and put in parallel. And then the front here. Oops. That does not look parallel. Maybe it is. No, this is it. It needs this other side. This is a little bit wide right there, so I am going to adjust it. this looks a little bit funky right here. Smaller an object is, the more detailed it is. Okay, so there is our chair using 1-point perspective. Now the sheet has a TV and a bed and a dresser. You can go ahead and choose which ones you want to do. I think the bed would probably be the better one because these two pieces of furniture are, you know, really similar to the chair and the table. So if you can do the chair and the table, then you could probably do these. The bed does have some shapes to it that, you know, might be interesting to see how they turn out. Okay, so I will go ahead and make room for the bed. It's got an irregular line at the bottom. You can make up your own irregular line. Okay, so this is about what's on the paper that you would have printed out. So let's go ahead and create some orthogonal lines. All right, so I'm going to begin with the headboard, and it's going to be just like the top of the chair. This little line right there is going to have to come off a little bit. Using a ruler would be great, but this also shows you how you don't always need a ruler. You can make a straight edge out of a lot of things. Now, I don't know that I want my bed to go back that far because of the headboard height. So I'm just going to make my pillow round, and we're going to assume that this pillow covers up the headboard parallel, and then this is also going to be parallel. Okay, so there's our bed 1-point perspective. So we've done 4 objects out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had to draw these from scratch, so we can just accept this, and anything else you do would just be bonus. But just know that when you're doing your project, you might need some of these objects in your room, so you'll end up drawing them anyways. Okay, so practice is important. So this is the end of page 5 for our 1-point perspective lesson.